All right, so we got a brand spanking new filter. What could this be for? It comes with the filter, it comes with the gasket, and the drain plug, the fill plug, and all the bolts. Well, it is for the cursed Hellcat. We are doing some transmission maintenance. This is a transmission from Paramount Performance. They built it with their special packages they have there and their tricks that they do to the torque converter. We are going to be converting it to regular automatic transmission fluid. It does require more fluid changes, but the fluid is much less expensive, and we do have the upgraded thermostat for the transmission, so it does run considerably cooler. Even drag racing this thing, it's barely cracked 180 degrees on the fluid. It will require more frequent changes, especially after track weekends and a lot of pulls, but the fluid is much cheaper. So, and these transmissions love clean fluid, so I'm actually excited to be able to change it more often than this fluid that's $300 to $400 for a fluid change, plus the filter and everything. So this is what we got on the magnets. This is what came off of it. This is not a whole lot. It might look like it. This fluid actually isn't that bad. This fluid is very clear. Just when it's all accumulated together in the pan, it looks dark. But actually, this is extremely clean for a car with as much horsepower as I'm running, and 7,000 miles on this fluid, and it's pretty fantastic. This might scare some, but it's really not that bad. It's not that bad at all. So I'm not worried. After you spend $7,000 on a transmission build, you think you might be worried about that, but trust me, that is not bad at all. So I'm gonna get this changed over and give you my first thoughts of the fluid here. All right, so we got the pan down, got the filter replaced, new gasket, comes with all new hardware, got the hardware done. The filter just pops in place. There's no bolts that hold it in. It kind of is held in by the pan. The magnets obviously don't need to be cleaned per se because they come new on the filter. I did go ahead and pop both of these cooler lines off, and I ran compressed air through that to flush all that fluid out. Then unfortunately my transmission flush machine doesn't have the connections for this, so we're just gonna have to do it old school and fill the fluid up, then run it through the gears, then do a couple of drain and fills to get that old fluid flushed out the best we can. Thankfully the that fluid that's came in here, that special automatic, the 8-speed fluid, I can't remember what they call it. Thankfully it does mix with the ATF Plus 4, but we're going to try to get as much out of it as we can. Then after we complete the track day, we're going to go ahead and do another fluid change to it. So over the next couple weeks, all the fluid should be completely out of it, and then we'll be rocking the Plus 4. The Mopar ATF, that one's all covered up. ATF Plus 4. I do have a little device here that helps get it for these transmissions that don't have dipstick tubes. Just need to clean this out a little bit and then put the new fluid in it. Then this transmission is actually filled from the side on the Hellcats. The ZF Trans is actually filled from this plug right here. So what you have to do, you have to monitor fluid temperature because as the temperature of the fluid goes up, it also expands. So you can't check it cold. So the procedure, basically, you fill it up till it starts running out, then you go ahead and just loosely put the plug in. Then you start the vehicle up, then shift it through reverse, then through the drive gears. Then with it in park with the vehicle running, you lift the car up. It helps to have a helping hand, which I will. Then you lift the car up, take this plug out, and nothing should be coming out at that point. Then you fill the transmission back up until it starts having a stream come down, all the while that you're monitoring the fluid temperature. I can't remember what the manual says, but my transmission builder likes 80 degrees. So the fluid doesn't need to exceed 80 degrees when you're checking the fluid level. So you might have to stop midway and actually let the car cool down for as long as it takes to get the fluid temperature back down. Then you just basically repeat that process until After you shift through it, then remove the plug. If you have a nice stream coming down, then the transmission is full. Again, if you pull the plug out and there's nothing coming down, then you have to continue the filling process, then run it through the gears, etc. So that's what we're gonna do next. All right, we got the first gallon through it after it was filled, trying to flush out the old stuff. And let's see, look at that red fluid coming out of an 8 HP 90. Hooray! All right, so we got everything wrapped up on the trans for today. The fluid temperature got a little too hot, so we got to let it cool down, and it's the end of the day on a Friday, so we will just continue this on Monday. At this point, we're just making sure the fluid level's good, so got to get that fluid temperature down. Now we are going to be servicing the differentials. So got it draining now. This will be the first service. It has almost 10,000 miles on the car. Gonna be going with AMSOIL Severe Gear. This calls for 75/85 with a limited slip additive, but this has the additive in it already. 75/90, it's not gonna affect it at all. Of course, as oil goes, that's like, you know, incredible amount of controversy with oils and weights and whatnot, but this will be fine. This is my personal car, so it will be fine. Look at that, Daimler Chrysler. We'll get this in there, and then we'll check the fluid temp on Monday, and all will be good. All right, I want to give a real quick update. My phone died, so I wasn't able to, I mean, it completely died like toast. This is a brand new phone, so, and all my footage for the transmission fluid swap, filter swap was all on my old phone. So thankfully everything was backed up, so I didn't lose anything, just couldn't finish the video of the car on the lift. But we got the car started up on Monday because the fluid temp was too hot to properly fill it on Friday. So on Monday we got it all started up, got the the fluid temperature was in a good range, got it all topped up, went and drove it, put about 90 miles on it yesterday, went from Fort Worth to Dallas and back, varied my shifting, of course got on it a couple times in the Dallas Tollway tunnel, which was awesome. But man, the car shifts great. My transmission temperature is perfect. No issues whatsoever. I got as much of the old fluid out as I could, so I'm happy to report I think this is going to be a success. I'll give a long-term mileage update. Then in 2 weeks, we're going to be racing at Streetcar Takeover, Streetcar Challenge, Streetcar Takeover at Ennis. So after we finish that event on Saturday, the following Monday, I'm going to go ahead and drop the pan, drain the fluid and drop the pan to take a look at the fluid condition, then change that out. So I'm super excited to be able to service this transmission more frequently because these 8 HP 90s, they love clean fluid. So that's it. And just wanted to add, as far as the disclaimer goes that I'm putting on this, I'm not recommending that you do this to your Hellcat. So do this at your own risk. I have a built transmission. It is built by Paramount. It does have a lower temperature thermostat. I do have the front heat exchanger, which has the transmission cooler near it. It is bypassed because of the killer chiller. So this transmission runs exceptionally cool, and ATF Plus 4 likes a cool fluid temp. It does not like heat. It does not take heat like the 8-speed, 9-speed fluid does. So do not do this to your transmission, or if you do, do it at your own risk. Don't blame me. All right. Peace.